Hello, welcome to PNG Technologies. We're a supplier of propane and natural gas custom kits for generators. Today we're going to be showing you the CFMOTO. This is the inverter. It's the i4500. We're going to show you a propane kit on this. For natural gas it's a little bit more difficult because the regulator has to be mounted to the unit. There really is no good spot on this to mount it. So we're basically just going to offer the propane kit. So it'll be a dual fuel setup, propane and gasoline. And we'll go ahead and show you the steps on how to convert this over. Okay, first what we got to do is remove the back cover and the top. Okay, and this will give us access to the inside to be able to install the adapter. So we'll go ahead and remove the bottom ones. These are just fill-ups. And this just pops up. Okay, go ahead and set that to the side. Now we've got access to this. Now what we got to do is we got to remove the top one here because we have to pull this off to be able to get to the air cleaner. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screws here. We'll go ahead and remove these top ones. Magnet there, it makes it easier sometimes to pull those out. Alrighty, get this one here. I apologize if I'm going to be in the way on some of these, it's tough sometimes. Okay, we got one more up top here. Alrighty, and then we'll go ahead and remove these two here. You'll have to pull this back here, just a little clip here. You got to remove the gas cap, okay? And you can pull this up and just kind of, all you got to do is just pull that back. That's good. We'll go ahead and show you the next steps on this. All right, now normally I would use the tripod for this to keep the camera a little bit still, but I can't show you this portion. We have to remove the handlebar here to get access to the air cleaner, okay? So underneath this unit here, if you look up in there, you'll see 1, 2, and then there's 3 over here. There's another, they're flat, they're fill-ups. So we're gonna go ahead and remove those and we'll show you the next step. Okay, these were the 3 screws that I removed from the upper top. Now we got 2 down here, okay? We'll go ahead and pull them out. And now we'll be able to pull the bar out and get that. Okay, there's 2 little pins. See that? Those pins right there. Just clip those in and then it'll come right out. So that's that step there. We'll go ahead and show you the next step. All right, now for the fun stuff. All right, there are 2 bolts back here, vibration bolts that are holding the back of the air cleaner cover on, so we got to remove them. I found it easier just to use a 10 millimeter. If you had a ratchet one, it'd be a lot easier. Just go ahead and pull your drain tube, just kind of tuck it out of the way. Pull your tube off here, just tuck it back. And I know you're not going to see a lot of this. Oh, I got it in my way again there. There we go. And these are bare to get to back here. Now I've already had this off once, so obviously they're a little bit easier for me right now. Go ahead. As a matter of fact, I'm going to eliminate this bracket because you don't need it. It's not necessarily. I've seen big generators, a lot bigger than this, that had just one, and this one's got 2 of them back there. So let's go ahead and remove that. Okay, got the 2 bolts, that's the bolts there. Okay, we'll remove the cover, the air cleaner. See, without that bar off there, it's difficult to do this. Then you got a little plate back here. That's just to keep the air cleaner from sucking in. And there's a boot here. an air boot. Just push that air boot through. And that comes right off. That boot right there. And you should be able to, okay, now on the studs on the inside that hold this on, they are also 10 too. So we'll go ahead and remove those. And all I'm doing is basically just taking the two nuts out here. And then we got access to the carburetor. Alrighty. Now we should be able to pull that cover off. And give us access. You got one little tube back here in the back. Let's pull that tube off. Set it to the side. We'll show you the next steps. Alright, now this is the vibration bracket here. Where we took the two bolts off the back. Now there's just one nut back here. It's a 10 millimeter. I'm just going to eliminate it. It's your choice if you want to put it back on. To me, it's not necessary. Let's go ahead and get that on. Okay, got that there now. Now, when we install the slim adapter on here, okay, when we put it on here, obviously it's going to push out the air cleaner a little bit, okay? So all I did was I took the carburetor, slid it back. I got me a pair of vice grips. These are really easy to turn out. You just grab onto them, back them out until you get enough clearance to put everything back on. I found two complete turns was enough because these stuck through pretty far, so I kind of got fortunate on that. So that's that step there. We'll go ahead and show you the next step. Okay, now before we install anything back on here, we have to pull the gasoline line off here because we got to put a manual shutoff valve in here. Okay, so we're just going to unclip the clip on the back, pull the hose off. Okay, we'll supply you this unit here. We'll have the hose mender on it. Okay, so just go ahead, grab your gasoline line, slide your hose mender on there, bring your clamp back down. They'll supply that one to come off the carb. We'll give you the rest of them for here. Just take this, tuck it back in here. Now obviously that's on, that is off. So if you want propane, you'll have it in this position. If you want gasoline, you'll have it in an open position. Okay, so we'll go ahead and close it. Bring our hose back around. We got our clamp already on there. I kind of ran it over this way because once the air cleaner's on, you can't get to that gasoline shutoff valve. So let's go ahead and slide that on there. Get our hose clamp back on there. All right, that's that. And then you can just kind of tuck this back in here. Now you got access to this here. So, all right, we'll show you the next steps. Okay, what we're going to do when we're installing the adapter in here, okay, instead of having this hose come out the door, I use bulkhead. That way you don't have to remove doors or anything like that when you do this. What we're going to do is we're going to mount this down here, okay, mark down from the top about 1 inch of an eighth, and then just center it. Now I have a step drill here. If you don't, you can use a hole saw. We're just going to open this up until we get clearance for this to go through. A little bit bigger. See if that did it. Just a little bit more. See if that did it there. Close. It would actually work, but I'm going to open it a little bit further. There we go. That should do it. That did it. Okay, what we're going to do, tighten this one in first on this side here, not the nut side. Okay, we'll give you compound for that. Just go ahead and slide that in there. Face it to your left. Go ahead and tighten this down. This is 1 inch. And it'll probably spin on you, so you're going to want to kind of angle it down if you start spinning up on you. Okay, now I'll bring it up with this. There we go. Okay. Now we'll give you a little thing of compound. Let's put a little on there. And this is to attach our propane. Okay. We're just going to face this towards the back. Again, you're only dealing with 6 ounces of pressure here. Okay. So there's that step there. We'll go ahead and show you the next steps. Alrighty. Got that installed. Now we're going to go ahead and install the adapter. Go ahead and just slide this hose back into its drain down here now that we're kind of done with that side of it. Just tuck that back down in there. Alright, now we'll supply you 2 gaskets for this. We've got one there. And we'll just feed that back behind it is probably the best way. Yeah, no, let's go on the front of it. And we'll get the adapter on. Now this adapter will only go one way. You'll see it line up on the carburetor. Okay. And we'll give you another gasket here. Okay. This is where you'll tell if you pulled your studs out far enough. If not, just back them back out a little bit more. You're good to go. All right, let's go ahead and get this hose back on here. Tuck this back down in there. Whoop. Get that gasket back on there. This hose is what's kind of feeding it around, putting pressure on it. Slide that back on. Get our gasket back here. This is when you need a buddy. Okay, got that. Let's slide this down in here. Line those up. All right. Got plenty of room here for the studs, for the nuts to go back on. Get them started. Again, it's tough to see every step, but basically all I'm doing now is reassembling. At least you don't have to try to get that vibration bracket back on. That thing is a nightmare back there. Okay, let's go ahead, tighten this down. Again, these were 10s. Just make sure everything's kind of clearing back in here. You're good to go. Let's go ahead and tighten them down. You got plenty of meat in here too, so that makes it nice. And then just go ahead and connect all your hoses back up. Yeah, like I said, we're just basically reinstalling everything back on now. Okay, got that on. Now we'll bring our hose around here, get our clamp on, slide it over there, and we'll get this tightened down. Just make sure you got no kinks in your hoses. You can always spin that hose on the fitties a little bit. So we'll get that. And then we'll go ahead and reinstall the boot back in here. This is kind of pull it through. It's rubber, thank goodness, so it'll flex on you. Alrighty, got that. All back on there, make sure it's good and sealed on there. And just kind of look through it. Oh, see, I got to pull it back a little bit further. All right, there we go. Got that. And we'll show you the next steps. Okay, all the installation is done under here. like I said, the toughest part was some vibration brackets back there. If you want it to go back on, you can, but that thing ain't moving anywhere with this boot and the 2 bolts. So go ahead and get your handle, slide her back through, line it up down here. You might have to push those clips in. There we go. Okay, so that. Now you remember the 3 screws up under here. We'll go ahead and do that and we'll show you the next steps. Okay, we've got this installed now. Now we'll go ahead and get the cover back on here. Just put your little plugs down. Put your cap back on. We'll go ahead and mount all of the top screws back in here. It's not that bad once you start getting involved in it. It's just pulling a lot apart, but that's the price of paying for an inverter. You're looking for something that's got good power producing so it doesn't hurt your computers and stuff like that. And this is a really nice unit for that. I mean, I'm impressed with this. This is a nice little generator. Okay, we got a couple more up here. Couple more here. Okay, and 2 screws up here. Okay, and then we got the cover. Okay, we'll get that there. Okay, I wanted to show this, because every now and then you run into something that you could be challenged against. This is the first time I've did this unit, so when I installed this here, this needs to drop down further towards the bottom, okay? What's happening on me here is when I go to put the cover on, it's hitting. So I've got to notch this little portion out, but if you bring this down a little further, you won't be able to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll show you the next steps and we'll get this thing running. Okay, now that we've notched this out, it definitely fits on there a lot better. Now you can drop this down. You're probably still going to have to notch this a little bit, but it's not as much as I did. Just go ahead and get your cover back lined up. Get that in there. Slide it down. Alrighty, there's that step there. We'll go ahead and tighten these down, and then the next step, we'll go ahead and get this thing fired up. Okay, get that on there. Alrighty, we'll show you the next steps. Okay, once you get everything all locked down, I forgot to put these back in for the handlebar, so go ahead and get them in, and this will be the last step that we have. And then we can go ahead and start this thing up and run it and set it all up and be good to go. So that pretty much concludes the steps on this unit. So we'll go ahead and hook up the propane and we'll show you how it runs. Okay, finally got this thing completed. Now when you run this, obviously the gasoline shutoff we installed in the back, you have to have this because this is electronic here. It's not just a fuel on and off. So you got to have this in on position even when you're running your propane. So let's go ahead and turn this around. And then what we're going to do is we'll supply you with this. This is going to hook direct to your tank. Now this will hook up to a 20, 30, even up to a 100-pounder. So let's go ahead. You don't need pipe dope on these. It's a swivel fitting. But I do recommend using a wrench to hold that fitting up so it doesn't crack the unit. Okay, we'll go ahead and do that. Come over here and get this installed out of here. Now we'll preset these as close as we possibly can here. Every unit's a little bit different, but this is going to be your main adjustment here. I leave it loose so I can back it out and adjust it. Now I've already had it running, so I've got it locked down right there. And then you'll find, we'll set this, but you'll have to fine tune it when you get it. So go ahead and turn your fuel on, nice and slow. Kind of set that to the side. Okay. And this is a rope pull. So go ahead and make sure you're on here. You're going to hit this button for 1 or 2 seconds. You'll hear the fuel come through. There she goes. Now that's with the eco off. That's with it on. Nice quiet unit. So that's that set up right there. We'll go ahead and steps. Okay, that shows you the steps on converting this over to propane. Again, this is the CFMOTO. It's the inverter style. It's the i4500. We didn't do a natural gas kit on this. It's not that you can't do it. You just got to figure a way to mount it somewhere around here so it's close to the unit, you know. And also for the propane, you can also get this hose as long as you're up to 100 feet, and then we also supply it with quick connects too. So if you're interested in purchasing this kit off us, you can go to our website at PNG Technologies.com, or we could be reached at 734-992-2648. Again, thank you very, very much. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button on the bottom and have a wonderful day.